Alright, I made this video to figure out what was going on with the netcode between PS4 and a PC. I set up two systems at home across the network, and I basically manipulated the latency between the two and the frame rate. So in this video right here, I'm just showing that everything is pretty much synced up. You can see the PC and PS4 are pretty much moving all the same. There's no skipping or anything like that. This is at 1 millisecond. So now I'm going to adjust the frame rate. I'm going to artificially make it drop below 60. So if you watch the PC here, you'll see that it slows down and gets a little jittery. And the PS4 pretty much, everything's still synced up. However, I can see that there's a little bit of skipping on the PS4 with the frame. I'm going to turn it off here. I'm going to turn it back to 60, and I'm going to move Cami back a little bit again. And if you watch her hand, you can kind of see it's smoother. So there is a little bit of an effect when you have a frame drop for the other user, for the other player. Their game's going to skip a little bit. Okay, so in this round, I went ahead and I'm going to adjust the latency here in a second. And you'll see it here. So the PC, everything's smooth. But now you can see that when the PS4 moves, there's a bit of lag on the PC side. And this is just 150 milliseconds of lag here. It's not even anything major. So this is what you would expect. You know, one-sided rollback, whoever's receiving the data later, this is what's going to happen. What's interesting, however, is what Street Fighter V netcode is doing when the round ends. So I'm going to keep the latency on, and I want you to notice what happens here in the second round. You'll notice almost immediately that the PS4 is now lagging locally, and the PC is slightly smoother in its lag. So I think what's happening is SF5, whatever it's recording as the latency at the end of the round, is trying to create some sort of input delay to sync the games better, so there's not all one-sided rollback. It's kind of split between the two. So they must be adding some sort of artificial lag or input delay on the PS4 side in order to be doing this. So now I'm going to turn the latency off. So everything's normal again. There's no lag. So at the end of the round, it goes back and it basically resyncs. So whatever the connection is at the end of the round will determine how laggy it is for both players. So now I turn the latency back on, and you can see that the PC side is super laggy again. This is basically why when you have your first round, your game may seem really, really smooth or really, really choppy. And then as rounds go on, it gets worse. It's because it's trying to compensate between the two consoles, or the two games, to make them a little bit smoother for both sides. Now this is where things get interesting. If I kept the latency on in between rounds and then I turned it off in the round, the artificial input delay remained causing some real weird desyncs. So you see that difference? There's no input delay right now. I mean, there's no latency. I turned off the lag, but both sides are still lagging. So it looks like if you just had a bad connection at the end of the round for some reason, it's going to affect your next round completely. So if you were downloading something or there was a packet loss or something like that at that moment, your next round might be totally screwed up. It looks like someone gets a couple extra frames. I'm not really sure who has the advantage in that situation. I don't know if the game clock tries to figure it out. I mean, the PC seems to be 7 frames behind. The PS4 seems to be skipping 7 frames. So I guess it's all in perspective and how the game decides who wins in that hit situation.